This is the book of Psalm, chapter 27, and verse 12. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. Psalm chapter 27, and verse 12. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, today is the 20th, of May, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and I have an article I want to go into titled, Soon Parts of Paris will be off limits without a QR code. Okay, so pretty much it has already started in Paris. All right, and I think that's what I'm going to title the video. All right, it has already started in Paris, okay, which is France. Now, that is a sign because you see a lot of things going on right now. All right, I believe, was it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, the president of Iran, his plane got shot down. Okay, which I believe, before anything comes out, when you start seeing people like Chuck Schumer, right, of the United States, hopping on the podium and saying that, there's no sign of foul play and all this extra stuff. They're already putting themselves out there. All right, nobody asked you. All right, this has nothing to do with America, so-called, right? Why would you jump on a podium and start putting disclaimers out there, almost like you did it and you're trying to hide your hand? Okay, but we all know, even Russia, some of the Russian media outlets are already reporting, all right, that there's definitely foul play, right, and Israel is behind it. Okay, them Jays out there, which is not hard to see, right, because Netanyahu, all right, all of a sudden they're saying that they're gonna bring him up, bring him up to charges on war crimes. Okay, and then he's trying to debate, that wouldn't, be a good thing, blah blah, whatever. It's like, how do you even get to make a case, when you've committed such atrocities? You're murdering all these so-called Palestinians, okay, out there in Gaza, all right, and so on and so forth. I believe they started hitting Rafah as well, if I believe it's last week, okay, and they've dispersed millions of people over there in that land. All right, and the truth is that they're trying to build up some type of New World Order infrastructure out there, okay. So they're trying to clean off the land with any non-desirables, okay. And there's almost like a tone setter for what they're going to be doing across the face of the earth very soon. All right, as they're ushering in this system, this beast system, you're starting to see a lot of things going on. A lot of changes, all right, in whether it be society, okay, whether it be the political systems, all right, whether it be, just the thought processes alone, all right, relationships, national, international relationships a lot of them are pretty much dwindling. All right, a lot of countries are pretty much at loggerheads, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And that's all preparing for that third world war. Okay, that thermonuclear fire that's going to be destroying America very soon, all right, as a result of her wickedness. Okay, but prior to that, okay, we're going to be witnessing or living in a time where, and it's coming, fast approaching, where the whole world, everyone is going to be required or mandated. All right, not be requirement is a mandate. Okay, which will become pretty much the law of the land. All right, the modus operandi. Okay, the way things operate. Okay, on a daily basis is going to be all digital, and people are going to be forced to take a device to be implanted underneath their skin. All right, in order for them to be a part of society. Point blank, period. Okay, so when these other camps are out there talking their shit, saying that the MOTB is sin in all its many ways or various ways or whatever the hell they say, whether it be political and religious or whatever, right? We know you can't buy and sell with no goddamn philosophy. All right. When Esau, Edom, and their banks, the reality, all right, is speaking the prophecies, man. When they're coming out and telling you straight up, all right, that they looking to bring about a CBDC, and in order for you to use the CBDC, you're gonna have to have a microchip underneath your skin, bro. That's the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16 right there, man, and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Okay, so yeah, man, you can sit there and believe that it's sin in all its various ways, whether it be political or religious, all you want, but the reality is gonna come in very soon, in a few months. All right, and they're preparing the world for it. Okay, you notice all of a sudden the WEF, ain't nobody talking about them no more. Right? They used to be in the forefront every day, goddamn near every day. All right, you see these niggas on TV. Everybody's talking about it. Oh, Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum is doing this, and everybody was talking about them. Now all of a sudden it seems like they just disappeared out of the face of the earth, and nobody knows where they at and what they're doing. Like, come on, bro. All right. I was talking to my boy yesterday. He was telling me, he's like, yo, bro, man, it seems like shit has been mad quiet, bro. This shit is weird. I say, yeah, it's the calm before the storm. Okay? It's always the calm before the storm, man. Remember, it says sudden destruction. All right? But let's read. It says, soon parts of Paris will be off limits without a QR code. Okay? The French capital, Paris, will be split into zones this summer. All right? We're in May. All right, in a couple more days, I think tomorrow. All right, a month from tomorrow is going to be the beginning of summer. All right, June the 21st. Okay, so summer is literally a month away from here. All right, officially on the so-called calendar, that is. Right? It says the French capital, Paris, will be split into zones this summer, with anyone wanting to enter certain areas required to show a pass on their phone. There you go. Okay, so this is going to be more of a pilot or a test. Not so much the technology aspect of it. Well, it could be, right? It's part of it, but mostly the psychological aspect, getting the people prepared and ingratiated and in a mindset of accepting, a world where you have to show some form of digital proof of your identity in order to access anything or anywhere in society. You see? So it's just the beginning. All right? So let's continue. So let's continue. It says special measures will be in place throughout the city as part of increased security around the Olympic Games, which start in July. Okay, so sporting events, all right, the bread and circuses is a huge way of getting people geared up for the CHIP. Okay, because people don't want to miss their concerts and their sports and all this extra shit, especially nowadays when there's money to be made out of it. All right, you got the sports betting. You see, they're involving the so-called fans, all right, the fanatics, physically into the game. Right? Now your money's attached to it. Now you can make some money if you win this. So people are glued to TV that they're watching. They're very, very mentally consumed by a lot of these distractions. Okay? Meanwhile, all hell is breaking loose around the world. These devils are planning to take over with violence very soon in your various communities. Apparently, they're saying that the UN already sent out the troops, okay, into American lands, okay, which we know them, if you're paying attention, is pretty much all them so-called migrant men, all right, who came over through the border over here, right? They're the ones who are being groomed and prepared for that takeover. All right. They said that they're increasing the police and the military out there in New York City as well. Recently, you had the FBI guy, his name Christopher Wray. All right, that clown. All right, he also came out and said that that there's a heightened sense of a threat, especially against the LGBTQ, the Pride Month, whatever, because that's coming up next month, so-called, right? So they want to be left alone to do all that wickedness. But because people are speaking against it, now they're saying, oh, there's threats against the people and we need to do things to protect them, be aware, and shut up. All right? Nobody's buying into their stories anymore, and that's causing frustration. Okay? But ultimately, that's all part of what's going to lead to them banning the Bible, all right, by demonizing it, calling it an anti-Semitic book or a hate book, right? Because that's all they need is to get the people to be on board with it, and that's all it is. And that's what she wrote. Okay, it says anyone wishing to enter certain zones, including residents, will have to apply for a special pass or pass jeu, which is games pass, on a platform run by police. Whoa. Oh. Run by police, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. It says it mostly applies to people driving, but even pedestrians will need to show a QR code to enter an area called the gray zone around the river sign in the center, where the opening ceremony will take place. It says the codes will be checked at access points along the entrance to each zone, manned by officers. You hear that? You hear that? This is like that episode in Black Mirror, right, where the guy was trying to check in, and he had to stop, and then they scan his eyes, his eye, whatever, and then they're able to see what he's been doing for the past week, the past day, and then you good to go now. You see, so right now, it looks like a stage where you just need to have a QR code in order to gain access. Soon there'll be a stop to that. All right, and it's going to be, you need to have the CHIP in order to gain access. And while people get that CHIP, however long we got left here, they're going to advance it a little bit more and say, hey, now, the CHIP, it's not just because you got it, so you're good now. No. Now it also impacts your behavior. Okay? Your behavior is impacted by your access as well. So good thing you got the CHIP. Great. Now we can identify who you are. But for your CHIP to function properly, you got to be on your best behavior. You see? That's why it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. You're going to be so stressed out, you think this is a good thing. Nah. The CHIP is to mark their cattle. All right, and their cattle is what? It's for slavery, for work, for heavy work. Okay? All right, so let's continue. It says, applications for the passes opened today, with people needing to upload various documents to be authorized. And I believe this is a few days ago. So it says, after the official start of the games, the zone will be lifted by drivers. After the official start of the games, this zone will be lifted, but drivers will still need to show their pass at the perimeters in the red and blue zones, which cover significant areas of the city, while gray zones will cover the exact areas where events are taking place. Significant areas of the city, huh? Sound like geofencing to me, or at least a resemblance of it. Okay, it says the policy has echoes of the CV Pass system during the pandemic, when many countries introduced QR code passes stored on phone apps for people to prove they had been vaccinated and access certain venues or transport. See? And we said replace the Vanessa with the CHIP. Remember we said that? Well, that time is here. That time is now. Okay? It starts in Paris and it'll make its way over here. It'll make its way over here because Americans love to party and do dumb shit. So it will definitely surely make its way out here. If it hasn't already. Okay? It says to be granted a pass, people must show proof of identity, an identity photo, their address, and potentially other documents, including vehicle registration document or proof of their employer. Oh my goodness. All this just to access a sporting venue? So that's how it begins. The UK government warns that terroristas are very likely to try to carry out attacks in France. And it's happened before. I believe it's happened before. All right, I don't remember exactly what or when, but it sounds like it's happened before. Like there's been a so-called T attack that's happened in France before. So it sounds very much real in my mind, at least. It says same methods have included knife attacks, shootings, bombings, and vehicle attacks. People don't go around doing shit like this, though. That's the thing, right? People don't just go around. Nowadays, they try to put it in the media to make it seem like there's an actual thing going on. But most people don't go around just using knives to attack people like that. It's a very rare thing. So for them to use it as a selling point as to why they're going to be bringing this type of new way of vetting people or reasons to vet people, that's very, 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 like they say, asinine. Okay? But that's the devil for you. All right? He's always coming in, with the smooth words, with the, we're here to protect you. Well, everything we're doing here is for the greater good of the humanity. Meanwhile, they're destroying the earth. They're destroying humanity. It says zones prohibiting road traffic once the games begin are designed to protect the flow of spectators from the Olympic and Paralympic venues, organizers said. They will be activated each day of the event on the site 2.5 hours before the first competition and 1 hour after the last. Applying for a QR code Games Pass is free, and people who already have tickets to events do not need to apply for a separate pass unless they want to access the area in advance. You see? So that's how they get you. Say, it's free. But in order for you to use it, you got to give us a whole lot of your information. That's why it's free. You see? It's to entice you to think that, it's not harmful, it's free. But yeah, man, this is where they're going with it. All right. Again, we're just giving updates. All right. We're giving updates to what's going on in prophecy as is written in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. It says to measure the times diligently in itself. Okay. And this is what we're waiting for them to officially make that move and call it. Call it. Find a way, Esau. Be creative and bring it out. Okay. Bring it out. Let's go. All right. And that we're talking about is that MOTB, man. All right. But it's coming. Remember, I always say, right, the whole point that they're going to do is to transition quickly, right? And accelerated accelerated gradualism. Okay, let me take this water real quick. All right, accelerated gradualism. Okay, when we're going to officially move from these QR codes, all right, to a more convenient RFID microchip implant. Okay, and that will allow for, your digital payments and so on and so forth. That's the key. That is the main part of the prophecy. You have to tie in the fact that this device or this mark of the beast will have the ability to give you the access to buy and sell. Okay. So it cannot be sin in all its various forms, whether it be political or religious. You can't buy and sell with that. So that's illogical right there in and of itself. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash, the water Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.